Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to do a friendship reading. So some people had asked, I don't remember the exact pair, but I remember someone asked for two different BLACKPINK members and were like, can you do like a friendship reading? So I was like, well, I will eventually get to that when I figure out how I'm going to do my friendship readings. And thank you for everyone that has been watching all of my videos. Well, that's an assumption I've made. I have just made the assumption you watch all of my videos, but if not, that is perfectly fine. Enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy. Indulge yourself with whatever it is that you want to indulge yourself with, and I am just very thankful for the love and support you've been giving me, but also I am also very grateful that you've been giving a lot of love and support to BLACKPINK members. It seems like you guys really enjoy those videos, and I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, with all of that said, let's just jump into this reading. We're going to do a friendship reading for Rose and Lisa, because I did a random thing and that was the pair that randomly came up. So we're just gonna jump right into it and see what's going on. So these are the decks that I'm going to use for Lisa. These are the decks that the deck that I'm going to use for Rose, and this is just for me. Now to start off, let's begin with one card to, in a way, summarize or symbolize their connection. The connection between Rose and Lisa. I want one, so I'm just going to take the top card. We have Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibilities. But it's reversed. Well, it was. I don't really like to read reversals for oracle cards, but it happens, and on this one it had a very clear message of this is how you can read them when they're reversed, and I just kind of went like, okay, I'll get used to it, but I'll put it up right just for you guys. So this card symbolizes that both of them have a lot of potential together. They both seem to really be the type of connection that they have is one where they can both grow a lot, or where they can both hype each other up to realize that there's a lot of potential out there in the world, that they have potential themselves to do whatever it is that they wish for, that there is an abundant universe out there, and that dreams can come true. It feels like both of them know the benefits of standing still. Still. The other word is it's not what I was looking for. So yeah, it feels like both of them work together in such a way where they are able to just stay grounded and let the environment do what it has to do to get things done. But it also feels like they're not super aware of that. Like, this is something that it's like since I like to play games, this is a passive ability, okay? It's a passive trait. It's just happening naturally. They're not forcing themselves to, or they're not actively working to see how the universe is abundant and how it benefits both of them. It just kind of happens. So I guess this is kind of like their natural state, because it was reversed. So it tells me that they are not super aware of that. So they may do this unconsciously. Like, they're not like, oh, I'm here to cheer you up and tell you about the universe. No, it just kind of happens. So I think that's just kind of how it goes. They are very still, and they're helping each other regenerate whenever something happens, because it's the star, and the stars are kind of like starfish are known for, like if they lose part of themselves, they can regenerate that limb. So that's kind of what I'm saying in that case. So one card to represent Rose. Okay, we have the World. Okay, one card to represent Lisa. The King of Swords. Wow. So they both see themselves in very high esteem. Is that the word I'm looking for? Or like they have very high standards of how they see themselves. So what I mean by this is that Rose sees herself as the world. So she sees herself as someone that is very abundant, someone that's constantly changing, constantly learning, someone that is always trying her best to be on the top, the one that is always, that has a very good idea of what she wants in life, and she's constantly working to make those things come true. She seems to always be working with the universe, working with fate. So that tells me that she follows her instinct pretty well, or she does trust her gut, that gut. I can't speak. She trusts her gut feeling, even if she doesn't have the words to know how the spiritual world works. She at least trusts that if there's something that doesn't vibe with her, she probably will walk away. Now, Lisa sees herself as the King of Swords, meaning that she feels like she's very fair, that she's very just, that she's able to communicate properly within this connection. So she feels like she is the one that, like, this. I think when I was reading for Lisa's individual reading, I felt like this very strong masculine energy. So she's constantly and actively taking action towards whatever it is that she wants. She's a very strong energy that kind of fills up the room, if that makes sense. So this King of Swords, it also tells me that she feels like she's someone that is very mature, someone that is very good with her words and very good at expressing what it is that she thinks and feels. And it also feels like they don't really look at each other that much, so it could be one or two things. It could be that the relationship is a little bit strained, or it could just mean that they just don't feel the need to constantly be looking out for the other. It just kind of happens. So yeah, they both feel like they both see themselves as being very fits with their values and with their ideas, even though the King of Swords represents Libra energy, so very fair and just, and it's a cardinal sign, so it's one sign that prefers harmony and it prefers to figure out a way to avoid problems. But it's still, since it's the king, it feels like they're both very good at just saying, this is what I believe in, this is how I work, and this is how I like things to get done. So they're very good at just expressing what their ideas and thoughts are in such a way that they both can be on the same page, because no one is holding back, if that makes sense. But with all that said, let's get on to the next one, which is, how does Rose see Lisa? We have the Two of Swords reversed. How does Lisa see Rose? Wait. Two of Spring. So this tells me that they both see themselves as some sort of balance somehow, right? We have fire and then we have air right here, and they're both twos. So they both see each other as being able to harmonize pretty well, or being able to balance each other very well, but they come from different points of view. So the way that Rose sees Lisa is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords usually symbolizes having like two options or two ideas that you're choosing between, but it's reversed. So it kind of tells me that, at least with the imagery on this one, Rose sees Lisa as someone that is very open, even though it may seem that all of this masculine energy that Lisa has will make her a little bit too brass was the word that randomly came to my brain. I don't know what that means necessarily, but brass was a word. So I guess a bit too harsh, a little bit too forward, a little bit too overbearing sometimes. But it feels that Rose is able to see that Lisa is actually someone that just kind of opens up very well. It's able to see her options very well, because the imagery of this card shows someone that has the two swords over their chest, almost like blocking energy. So it feels like even if Lisa's usually like kind of keeps to herself and does her own thing, Rose sees like she can like pass that wall that Lisa has for other people. So they seem to be very open to each other. We also have this swan in the heart, so it kind of symbolizes that Rose is able to see the transformations that Lisa is constantly going through to grow and expand on herself. Now, how does Lisa see Rose? We have the Two of Spring. The Two of Spring symbolizes the ability that someone has to think of taking action. So Lisa seems to see Rose as someone that knows how to take action and knows when to take action. She feels like, now this is the funny part. In this imagery, you can't really see it, but the Two of Spring symbolizes the Two of Wands, and in that card you have one guy that has one wand in one hand and has the world on their other hand, to symbolize that they have the world at their fingertips. They feel empowered. They feel like, okay, this is what I have and it feels good, right? Like, so they're thinking of how to take action based on what they have, and it seems like Lisa sees that world aspect that Rose sees herself in. So Lisa is able to see how Rose is very good at and just making her dreams, is able to see that part of her, that part that is able to just feel like everything is in her favor, that she's like kind of like very lucky, or like that fate is in her side, the universe is working with her. So Lisa sees that abundant side that Rose has. Let's get on to the next question, which is the middle card. Where did I leave them? Oh. How do they like to spend time together? How does Rose and Lisa like to spend time together? We have the ant spirit, time to collaborate. So even if it doesn't seem like that, they both like to. It was reversed when it came out, so it kind of feels that they're not too aware of this as well. Like, it seems like the way that they like to work together is by doing what they already do, which is work together. So they like to collaborate with each other. Like, they like to. So I think they're not aware of this because that's their job, right? It's their job to work together. And it seems like they like to spend that time together. Like, they're okay with it. So it could mean a couple of things. Like, it could mean that they're both workaholics. So when they're working together, they enjoy that time. Or that's the only time they can hang out. So it could also mean that maybe they're not that close friendship wise. Like, it's not like, oh, let's go buy some clothes, or you know what, let's go watch a movie. It seems like that may not really be the case. It could just be that they only see each other at work, so they enjoy that time together, and that's how they usually spend it. As much as it could mean that they do have projects with each other, but people have not seen it yet. So it's something along those lines. Like, it could be that they just kind of see each other at work, so they are co-worker friends, if that makes sense. Not necessarily friends that you could see in all areas of your life. This is like the type of friendship that you have only in one area of your life, and in this case it would be a co-worker because they work together. So I do feel that it could be that they don't see each other as much because of work. So when they do see each other, it's because of work, and that's why they only spend time together through work and collaborating and working together. And since it's reversed, it feels like it's an effort or something that they don't have to force. It just happens. It's natural. So their friendship is very natural. Their relationship just kind of is what it is, basically. They're not forcing anything. They're not trying to make it work in such a way or any other way. It just is. The next card that we're going to take out is, what does Rose like about Lisa? Wait. Wait. So the card that came out was the Five of Wands. Good. What does Lisa like about Rose? Okay. We have the Prince of Autumn or the Knight of Pentacles. So what Rose likes about Lisa is that Lisa has this fighter spirit. Lisa has this energy of constantly working towards obstacles and like a bulldozer, just getting rid of it and walking forward and getting things done. So it seems like Rose likes this Aries energy. Was Lisa an Aries? Because if she wasn't, well, oops. And if she was, well, there you go. It's this energy that is kind of impulsive, action orientated. There's no impulsibles type of you. And she likes that. She likes that Lisa's able to just get her work done, go through anything. If there's any difficulty, she just jumps over it or goes through it, no problems. And it feels like Rose also likes how Lisa seems to be always making her own path. Now, what does Lisa like about Rose? We have the Prince of Autumn. So this is the equivalent to the Knight of Pentacles, meaning that she likes this over analytical, earthy side of Rose. So the world is ruled by Saturn, so I do feel that Lisa likes the structure that Saturn brings in Rose's life. The structure of, these are my limitations, this is how I can break free of that, or this is what I have and this is what I can work with, or is very, so like this resourceful side. But this Prince of Autumn also symbolizes that, well, we have the dependable, protective, chivalrous, and humorous. So Lisa may like how Rose seems to just enjoy life, seems to be a very funny person, but I was leaning more towards the analytical, grounding energy that a Prince of Autumn will have, because this is Virgo energy. So it's the energy of someone that is very organized, it's always working very hard to get their work done. It's someone that is of service, so they like to help other people, they like to be healing towards other people, and they're very good at taking care of their body. They're very good at is the energy of someone that is very good at organizing their work and their thoughts, as well as having a good routine, if that makes sense, like a routine that is beneficial for the mind, body, and soul. Very balanced in that sense. So I do feel that Lisa admires all of those aspects and qualities that Rose has. The next question that we have is, what has Rose learned from Lisa? Wait. We have the King of Wands reverse. Okay. What has Lisa learned from Rose? Wow, my hands actually hurt from shuffling. There you go. We have the Three of Wands. Phew. My hands are hurting from all that shuffling. So, the thing that Rose has learned from Lisa is this King of Wands energy reverse. So, it tells me that that she has learned how to not be too impulsive, because this King of Wands is Aries energy and it's reverse. So it tells me like it's learning from the mistakes or their differences. I do have to say that their relationship doesn't seem I do feel like it could be my over optimistic side, that it's like it's easy flowing, harmonious, and it just comes naturally, as much as it's just they don't really interact much, or like it's a very professional relationship that they have. It doesn't seem to be a very like emotional, deep type of relationship. Like this seems to be just like work and cordial and friendly in that aspect, not necessarily friendly of like they see each other as family or very close friends. It's just kind of like they just coexist and they coexist in a pretty peaceful way. So I do feel that could be like one of the things that are like one of the things that I kind of see here. So now going back to that card. So it feels like Rose kind of learns from all the mistakes that Lisa makes, this impulsive energy, this masculine energy. So Rose is constantly learning about this King of Wands reverse. So all of the negative aspects that Aries has, she's learning from that. Or the other message that I got when this card came out was that Rose is learning how to be a healthy King of Wands. So you do have to keep in mind that Rose seems to have a more passive energy, like she's constantly working, but it's more of an earthy, grounded energy that is like persistent and constantly working to achieve your dreams. Not necessarily a fiery energy of I'm just going to take action and see where life takes me. So it feels like a little bit more controlled for Rose rather than just an insane let's get things done type of energy, which I do feel Lisa does carry a little bit more of that carefree, just pushing through boundaries, overcoming any obstacle and difficulty to achieve her dreams. So I do feel that Rose is learning a little bit how to be what she is not. So all of this King of Wands energy that Rose seems to not have, because she's a little bit more contained, she's learning how to be a little bit more free and explosive and passionate with life. Now, what has Lisa learned from Rose? Well, we have the Three of Spring, which is the equivalent to the Three of Wands, which is the next step to the Two of Spring or the Two of Wands. So what I mean by that is that Lisa has learned how to work with people. She has learned through Rose how to work with people that are different from her, how to have a professional, well-mannered business environment, because the Three of Wands shows that it's how other people are coming towards you, and it's a good card for business partners. That's why I was mentioning that they don't seem to really be like very close friends. They just seem to get along in the working environment, and that's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I feel that some of you may be a little bit disappointed to hear that they're just very good working together, and they're not necessarily friends, like the type of friends that you will have imagined, I guess. So I just kind of want to put that out there. So it seems like Lisa is learning how to control that fire, learning how to be a little bit, how to work with other people, how to think a little bit more. Yeah, have the mentality of constantly taking action and constantly going towards your dreams, but also but keeping it in her, like, thinking about it before acting, if that makes sense. So I do feel that because of the things that she has learned from Rose, Lisa can see herself as a King of Swords rather than just a King of Wands. So let's get the last card for this reading, which is my most interesting question. Why did Rose and Lisa meet? Do I want those 3 cards? Do I want all 3? Okay. I'll take all 3. So why did they meet? We have the Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. We have the Whale Spirit, trust the great mystery. And we have the Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. So they met so they could both empower themselves to be their highest potential, to see the beautiful things of life, to see the abundance that life has to offer and bring. It feels like they met to be great empowered individuals. They met to be grounded. They met so they were be able to create this foundation that they could build upon to be this great version of themselves. It is so they could both balance each other to create infinite power. So I'm saying that because four that's 2 4s, of course, and 4 is supposed to symbolize stability. And then when you add them up, it creates an 8, which is supposed to symbolize infinite abundance. So I do feel that that's one of the things that they were able to create. They met so they could learn from that and create that type of environment and become that type of individual. Then we have a 6 with this Beaver Spirit, which is supposed to symbolize an equal give and take. So they're both very respectful to each other, and they're both constantly learning from each other, maybe by their mistakes, maybe by their strengths and weaknesses. They're constantly learning from each other in such a way that they are able to just create opportunities for each other. They're able to become empowered individuals. So that's very important. This whole thing about reclaiming their power is just helping them become stronger and stronger and stronger, and evolving and progressing into their better version of themselves. Now, this Whale Spirit symbolizes that it's kind of a mystery if they get along or not. It is kind of a mystery if their relationship works or it doesn't. I will say it does work, even though they both may not be making a constant effort to make it work. It just kind of does. I don't think they necessarily argue. I just feel that it kind of like their relationship kind of eases with each other. Like they're not forcing anything, they're not necessarily working towards it. It just kind of happens. So there's this energy of it's just kind of natural. It just works. And again, not in the sense of like they don't get along, more of the sense that they don't have to put a lot of effort to make it work. It just kind of does. They respect their differences, they respect their strengths and weaknesses, they also respect each other's mutual likes and dislikes. So it's a very respectful energy where they don't try to push any other's buttons. They just kind of get along because they respect how different they are, but they also respect each other, and that's a very good friendship. Even if it feels like it's just purely business, it's still a good type of relationship to have. So yeah, with all of that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I really liked how it was very straightforward, even though my wrist kind of hurt from shuffling. I don't know why, but they kind of do. So I really like that they're both very straightforward. They're helping each other, they're growing, they're the beautiful independent individuals that they are today. But it's just very nice to see that they do get along. It's nice to see that it's not necessarily a perfect relationship, it just is what it is. And I love that they are just letting this to just naturally happen, and it's allowing them to just grow, and it's allowing them to open up doors and windows and everything of opportunities, right? So yeah, thank you everyone for watching my video. This is short and sweet, which we like since I tend to rant and talk like crazy. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned from it, and if not, I hope you had fun at least. And love and healing from my part to you, and see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is, and bye.